There's no denying that the GenAI wave has swept the world. From corporate behemoths to startups, businesses across sectors and even industries are looking to embed GenAI capabilities within their automation programs to accelerate their growth and create an impact. But as business leaders set out on their transformation journey, they must fully understand where the areas of opportunities are, what kind of capabilities do they need, and what could be the possible outcomes. Underscoring all these considerations is the interplay with GenAI. So how does all this come together? Hello everyone, I am Disha Thadani and I welcome you all to another interesting episode of Intelligent Automation Bytes, where I'm going to be talking to a panel today about what exactly is GenAI-based automation and how it's impacting today's COE structures. Please join me in welcoming the brand ambassador of our series, Sumit Srivastav, partner and leader Intelligent Automation at PwC India, Harish Thimme Gowda, Head of Automation Strategy at the Merck Group, and Suman, Head of Digital Transformation at Tesco Business Solutions. So we're jumping straight into the discussion. What is GenAI-based automation and how is it transforming today's COE structures?
If you look at the Fortune 500 companies back in 2003, 52% of those companies ceased to exist today, are either bankrupt or have got acquired by their organizations. Even in our recent global CEO survey, 45% of the respondents mentioned that their businesses would not be viable 10 years from now unless they change their ways of working. So given this backdrop, it would be no exaggeration to state that CEOs and their leadership team understands the strategic importance of business model reinvention and are looking at ways of how they can redefine their businesses. Now today, generative AI is actually helping organizations to transform the way they are doing their knowledge-based work, the way they are looking at innovation and deliver services to their client. And to take certain examples, today in healthcare industry, organizations are leveraging generative AI to do clinical research. They are analyzing reports, data, and providing insights to the doctor as part of the diagnostic. In pharma sector, organizations are looking at generative AI for filing of patents and doing the procedural paperwork. Even in the retail industry, today organizations are looking at virtual agents which will interact with customers and provide them recommendations on the basis of their preferences and past buying patterns and make suggestions, thereby increasing the average order value of the sales online. Now clearly, if you look at the art of possible leveraging generative AI and how business models can be transformed, the imagination is limitless. And hence organizations today are looking at an integrated COE model where they are bringing in capabilities from their automation to data to AI to business process reengineering teams put together to deliver such use cases and drive innovation at scale.
So, Sumit, you spoke of innovation at scale. Harish, I'll take that thought and come to you. The pharmaceutical industry has undergone substantial change since the pandemic, and technology adoption has accelerated its pace. What would you think would form a successful strategy for pharma companies to be able to derive value from their automation programs?
We are a science and technology company and we are quite ahead in terms of adopting new technologies. But there are three key points in these technologies as to how we adapt and adopt them. One would be to choose the right automation use cases, which can be repetitive, scalable, then also rule-based, and also the right technology, which can also integrate into our systems and processes and also adopt to our business needs. And third is the change management, very critical for our people and the resources. So we were the first ones in our organization when we started with MyGPT to internally roll out and have this adopted by our internal resources. Half of the company is using MyGPT today successfully.
So, Suman, we got some insights into the pharma industry from Harish. Coming to the service sector, automation has already been there and it's already changing the way the service industry operates. But what's next? And how can it further change the narrative of this industry?
Very good question. So if you see the principle behind the service industry is always lying, deliver more in less. Looking into the last 10 years, that's automations and the various transformations like continuous improvements, process redesignings and all those has taken place. Always a debate and discussion in this industry is what next. So if you're talking about what next, of course in the fundamental of this will be cost efficiency. Then there will be in the core of all those like what about my customer experience. So when I'm talking about the what next, using the GenAI, first every company will focus on giving a world-class experience to the customer. So that will also help. Second will help like using this very personalized service to the customer, scaling to the personalization level, like some market campaign is happening, some product promotion is happening. How can you customize it to the very, very specific customer interest? That GenAI will help us, and that will also give a new source of revenue to the company operating on that segments. Then cybersecurity, like always every country is coming up with the new regulations, new law, and for the any organizations and project teams being up to leg that what is new regulation is coming and how I can be compliance with that. So I think using the GenAI, that is where journey for this service industry will be more and more easier and comfortable going forwards.
Right. So Harish, from Suman, we understand that time, cost, experience, these aspects dominate the service industry. When I come to the pharma sector, apart from the other KPIs, obviously time to market and accuracy are very critical, right? So how do you think GenAI-based automation solutions can help the pharma companies over there?
Yeah, I think Suman rightly touched on the compliance and the security part of it. Having said that, that is one critical piece of it, but we also have patient registration where we have our patient data and quick registrations and also the verifications which we can do it on a quicker time. Supply chain, which is also a very critical part of our industry where time to market is quick, and we also ensure that the inventory is also taken care completely in that. And the clinical trials in the research and development, which is also our core critical element, where we also have our data entry and the clinic patient intake and the registration part, which we can also quicken that using the GenAI. So these are some of the KPIs which we can really use in the pharma sector to accelerate our time for our medicines to reach the market. So it basically reduces the time for the patients, and we are patient-centric.
Sure. Thanks for sharing that. Suman, coming back to you, the automation COEs are taking a center stage, within the global organization structures, and now the world is looking to India as a force multiplier, in terms of delivering their transformation programs. In your view, what do you think this means in terms of the areas of opportunities for automation COEs, especially in the Indian service industry?
So these questions basically I want to answer in the three parts. Like first you were saying the COE is taking the center stage in the enterprise structure, right? Since every enterprises wanted to offer a digital experience to the customers, having a digital operations, having digital campaigns. So that is the very relevant that COE should be in the center stage to drive the organization's strategy over there. Second part is what is the benefit of having the GenAI for the service industry basically. So as I said in my earlier response that service industry is always driven by deliver more in less. So now having this GenAI coming over here, as Indian service industry is able to offer a productivity gain to their customers, able to offer what are the timelines that they can deliver on the less TAT, less SLA, that is another benefit will come by the GenAI. Then end of the day, service industry is also participating and having a better customer experience over there. Third part is why India? Since India have a pool of young talent over here, through the various government initiatives, they are encouraging and promoting the adoption of the GenAI. So that is creating a skill pool, that's where India is there. India work 24/7 due to time zone benefit from Australia to USA, any time zone we can run, so that is another benefit. So some organization is not about adoption only. If tomorrow they wanted to scale up, yes, we have the potential, we have the skill, we have the manpower, then they can scale up as per their demand, as per their business is going up and down. They can ramp up, they can ramp down as well.
So India is clearly taking a center stage over here. And Sumit, before we wrap up today's conversation, I really want to understand the technology landscape is still evolving, right? How do you think companies can really build a sustainable or scalable business model with GenAI at its center?
So as organizations have to reinvent their business models, they need to look at certain redefined guiding principles of how they adopt generative AI into their ecosystem. The first aspect would be to look at patterns rather than use cases, and then apply generative AI seamlessly across all business units wherever those patterns are emerging. For example, generative AI can be used for content creation based on user inputs. Whichever department this is applicable, those patterns can be replicated. The second important thing, which was also touched by my friends out here, was how do you link these initiatives to the strategic KPIs of the organization in terms of either faster turnaround time of the services or solutions what they're providing to their end customers, to reduce cost, to enhance productivity, better customer experience, and then basically if you are aligned the KPIs of the program to these strategic initiatives, you are going to see a greater momentum coming from the organization to build support of taking that forward. The third and a very critical aspect is to have set the foundation layer for your generative AI in terms of the foundation base as well as the governance and the data readiness within the organization. Today, a lot of organizations are building their own private GenAI foundation model, which will help them that they can augment this along with their own internal data, with insights, with their domain knowledge, and have a great data privacy around that to run this effectively. And the last and the most important model would be that as you are bringing in these models into play, you need to look at an integrated COE, because this would require involvement from the automation COE, from the data COE, from your risk and compliance team coming together, as well as business re-engineering teams working together with the business teams to deliver innovation at scale. So that's the model where the organizations which are able to bring all these four components into their guiding principles would be able to scale faster in their program. So let me end by saying it's not time to test the waters, but it's time to scale for organizations.
It's clearly time to scale now. On that interesting note, we come to an end of another interesting episode of Intelligent Automation Bytes. You can catch this and more of the other episodes online. Thank you.